Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be discussing on computer networking interview questions and answers. Question number 3. So what is the difference between a public and a private IP address? Okay. So here is the definition of public IP address. Public IP address is a unique IP address assigned by your service provider that is accessible over the internet. Means you can send the data outside the network. These public IP addresses are used to identify your device or a network on the global internet, not locally, but globally. So anyone on the internet can reach this address. If not blocked by the firewalls, then you can reach anywhere in the globe. Okay. So here are a few ranges of public IP addresses. So IPv4, any address not related to private addresses belongs to the public address. For example, here I have given one valid IPv4 public address like 8.8.8.8 and 203.0.113.5, any address. And here is one globally public IPv6 address I have given, which is of 128 bit. And these public IP addresses are normally used for hosting the websites, for gaming servers, remote access to devices, all those. These public IP addresses need strong firewalls or some security measures are needed because we are exposing these IP addresses to the outside world. That is, we are connecting to the internet. So there will be more chances of attacks, network attacks. So we need to protect with the strong firewalls. Okay. So this is something about public IP address. Coming to private IP address, an IP address used inside a private network. So that is not accessible from the internet directly. We call it as private addresses. For example, see here, if this is a local area network where there are some 10 systems connected, okay. So all these 10 systems will have the private address. So if you want, and one public address will be there for the entire network, okay. Public address for the entire network, and all the systems will have the private address. If any one system wants to communicate to other system in the same network, directly you can communicate with the private address. But if the same system wants to communicate to the outside world via some router or a switch, then we need this public address to communicate. So what we call NAT will be available here in the router. We call it as a network address translator that will translate this private address into public address, and then it will send to the outside world. Okay, that all we will see later. So just I am telling here, an IP address used inside the private network, we call it as the private address. These are used for communicating within the local area networks like a home or in a small office, etc. Only devices within the same local network, these private addresses can communicate, not with different networks. Okay. So these are all few ranges of private IP addresses. Like this is the 10 range, means class A, 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255, and this is a range from 172.16 range, and this is 192.168 range. These private addresses normally we are assigning to PCs, phones, printers, routers within the local area network. These are more secure when compared to public IP addresses because they are not directly exposed to the internet. So if you want to connect these private addresses to the global, then I told you we need what is known as NAT. We call it as a network address translator that will map the local private address into global public address. Okay. And these are all few key differences between public and private addresses for faster recovery. The scope for public IP address is global, means worldwide, it is internet, whereas private address is local. Accessibility, you can access via internet, and this is only within the network. Uniqueness says globally it is unique, can be repeated in different networks. Yes, private IP addresses can be repeated for different systems within the network, not a problem. And these public IP addresses are assigned by the service provider and private addresses by the DHCP or the router within the network. Okay. And public IP address is somewhat less secure because we need the firewalls there because it is globally connected, whereas private addresses are more secure by default. So these are all few differences between public and private addresses. Hope so enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos. Bye.